GM. Next,
Is
hi, Viral. Great to have you here. Next time we need some music too for the intro.
counter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the counter, I will add that. Yeah, but so great to have you here today. Tell everybody what are we going to talk today? What are you going to show everybody today? What are they going to learn?
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. So today's more about user interface and agent interface because I've seen a lot of people are able to vibe code application, but not a good application. So what the aim of my today's workshop is to give you a production grade application, which is an AI agent chat interface that you can just fork, which has all the animations, all the features that you require for an AI agent, which is Web3 ready, which has all the smart accounts, everything ready that you need for creating a base layer of an agent. And then, yeah, maybe you can delete features, you can add features on top of it.
Amazing.
So that's what
Very
we'll do.
exciting. For everybody who's new, this is, I think, our fifth or sixth workshop on vibe coding and just in general. And the second one of like creating AI agent with vibe coding. And Viral is on the DevRel team. I'm Lena from the Seller Foundation DevRel team. And yeah, so make sure when after this workshop, you also check out the previous workshops to build up your knowledge and understand how we got here. We will have weekly sessions that build up on what we're coding. And yeah, so make sure to check out our YouTube account and check out the previous workshops. And I think we can get started.
Awesome. Okay, so a quick introduction. We're going to use Cello Composer, which has a new template right now. And the new template that I just added is AI agent chat interface. So again, like to use, it's really simple. All you need to do is just do this command npx at Cello. And if you've seen any of our videos, we love using Cello Composer, and this is the only command that you need to know. You can directly go to the GitHub repository and get this link. Sorry, get this command. Just a quick hint, like you should always use latest because we've been adding latest templates and new features in Cello Composer every week. So if you use latest tag, you'll always get the latest version. Okay, that's
And just like this is some alpha because it's not been officially announced, only if you've been watching our workshops. But Cello Composer version 2 is out. So like if you've been building with Cello Composer in the past, this is a new design, new features, a new experience for the developers. So make sure to check out the repository and leave a little star and yeah, make sure to test it out because it's exciting. And we will also announce that in the next day. So you're the first to know. Cool. Can you zoom in a little bit more, Viral?
yeah. There we go. So we're already at version 2.4.3. We just launched version 2 like 2 weeks ago. So yeah, a lot of good features are coming in. And you can see we have a basic template. If you want to have like a bare minimum template, we have Farcaster, MiniPay, and the one that I'm going to show you today is AI Agent Chat app. And this does not require anything because it is a very heavy and advanced template. So it has a lot of features inbuilt. But if you would have chosen any other project, let's say Farcaster or a bare minimum template, it would have asked you for smart contract, wallet integration, different SDKs in Web3. But yeah, for our AI agent chat app, it's very opinionated because it gives you a lot of features by default, and that's why we don't have a lot of options in this template. But yeah, this will create a new project directory called Cello AI Agent Chat. And for this particular template, there are three basic prerequisites. First one, you need a PostgreSQL database because it's a chat interface. And I'll show you how to do it without even like installing anything in your laptop. First, we need a PostgreSQL database. Next, we need a API key for any of the top LLMs. And third is we need third web account. That's all. And everything is free. You don't need to pay. Let's quickly open this app in Windsurf. Windsurf is my new favorite right now. Okay, cool. So we have the whole project ready. You don't need to understand anything in the code right now. All we need to do is if you want to get a little bit context, go and read the README on how to run it and how to like basically move around in the project. But what I would suggest you is just open env file and see what are the required things, right? So we need an auth secret. Let me turn off this off. Okay. So we need an auth secret, and auth secret is something that we need for third web wallets. And it's really simple. Any laptop, just copy this particular command, go into terminal and run it, and it'll give you something like this. Anything, it will be a random string. Yeah, use it here. Next, we need a third web client that you can just create an account on third web and you'll get a client ID. You don't need to add secrets because we are using this is a front end focused application. So you don't need to add secrets. And next, it supports any of the big LLMs, and it can support multiple. So let's say if you add OpenAI key, Claude API key, and Google, if you add 4 of these API keys, the front end will support all the 4 models. Just for the demonstration, I'll only keep Google for now. And this is something that you can skip, which is an advanced feature and like not required right now. And you need PostgreSQL link, and Redis is an optional thing. Again, this is also a optional field that you can just totally skip. So all you need is just a third web account, Postgres, and a Google key. So yeah, Lena, can you turn off my shared screen? I'll just add the keys quickly. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Adding the keys now. Yeah, in the meantime, any questions, more than happy to.
Yeah, feel free to ask any questions on Twitter, on YouTube, where I just removed your screen completely, so you'll have to edit again.
Okay.
But yeah, I think what I think is very cool. We already had one session about AI, how to set up like a very simple AI agent. And now you basically learn how to build the client for that, right? Like, so basically how to make your product round and how to like start. This is like how you get started with like having other people use your agent or like selling your agent and access to your agent. So yeah, and it has like a lot of functionalities. Viral told me he added even more today. So you're very lucky to have. Yeah, I think it comes with a lot of functionalities that we will go through in a second. So
We are ready, Lena, you can share the screen.
and like also Viral, these are all already in the available in the Cello Composer Kit MCP.
Yes, it is. But as I said, like, so look, if you use it using this command npx, you'll have
It's
more better
easier.
understanding on which template you want to choose instead of MCP. So I would
Yeah.
always recommend to use direct one because you'll always have the updated templates.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Um,
Remember, I said we need PostgreSQL. And the dev version of it is have a Docker compose. This is what I used to do always is have a Docker compose and then turn up a local PostgreSQL. This is how I always used to be. Then I figured like there is a better option, Neon. You can also use Supabase and stuff like that, but Neon is the fastest way to do it. So let's quickly it's free. Like you just go to neon.tech, log in with your Google account or whatever. Shit. Okay, Lena, you might have to again stop sharing my screen. Okay, Lena, let's talk like while you are vibe coding, which is the most difficult piece you feel like that you're facing right now.
when I vibe code,
Yeah.
I think it's like it's very important to choose the right model, right? And then I think I sometimes last week I did a lot of stuff, and I think I still struggle, and I know it's my fault, but like to set everything up properly and like understand the right prompts. I feel like that's still something that I need the most teaching that myself and reminding myself and having a good like coding etiquette for that. Because I think even though I know how to do it properly, I get kind of impatient when I just like talk to the model and nothing useful comes out of it because I didn't prepare it properly. So it just hallucinates, and I'm like, no, you shouldn't do it like that. And I feel like that doesn't really lead anywhere because I'm just like not instead of providing proper context, I'm just telling the model it's stupid. And unfortunately, it doesn't get
That's
smarter.
one way to do it.
So
Okay, we
yeah.
are ready. I think it's you can share the screen again. Okay, cool. So we have up. So this is something that I've created for other project, but yeah, once you have logged in, this is what you get. You can go to any of your. So okay, I'll go to my personal one. And I'll create a new project. Let's name it Hello AI Chat. I'll do AWS region anything and create. That's all. Literally, that's all. Once you have that, just copy this link. You might need to, yeah, I'll delete this right after this so I can show the password for this one. Once I've copied, you can go into your ENI file. As you can see, I've added all the different credentials and I've just added the PostgreSQL one. Okay, cool. Once I've added that, this is all you need to do now. Like just after adding all the ENI files, it's third web, you can easily create an account and the first thing you get is a client ID, right? So you have this, you can find any of the provided foundational LLM API key and a PostgreSQL. You can skip Redis. So Redis basically gives caching support for the chat interface. But if you don't need it, we can just skip it right now. Okay, once we have
Why
done
would
that.
people want to use the caching functionality?
Sorry?
Why would people want to use the caching
So
functionality?
it basically improves user experience because next time, for example, let's say you're typing something and the LLM is streaming a response and you turned off the website or you refresh. So in that case, if you have Redis, it will resume from that particular place instead of going to the whole thing again. So these are the small things that will be added if you add Redis key.
I mean, it improves the user experience a lot. So
Yes. Yeah.
if you
And
build
faster loading. Yeah, right now you'll see that it takes, because if you don't have Redis, you'll make an API call to the PostgreSQL server, which has a higher latency compared to Redis, right? So yeah, adding Redis basically helps you. Okay,
so
after that,
for production or for yourself, probably
yeah,
add that.
yes. Okay, now we don't need to install packages because when we use Cello Composer, it already installed everything. So all we need to do is just do npm dev and hopefully everything should work. Let's go to localhost 3000. And it's compiling right now. Okay, compiled, and yes, this is the UI we get. And since I only added Google keys, it automatically showing me Flash and Pro version of 1.5. I have a connect button. This is powered by Third Web, of course. And I have the whole chat interface, a connect button again here. You can create more chats. So this is something you get at a very high level, which is like check your wallet balance, latest block, resolve an EMS name, find a token balance. So this is a very basic tools, but the chat interface is all you need because it has everything. And adding more tools, I'll just explain you how you can easily add new tools. But yeah, you just log in and there we go. We have a wallet which is created by Third Web. And since I used it before, that's why it created the same account and I have one seller token in this account. After that, yeah, you can basically send, receive by using your credit card. You can see all your transaction history, view all your NFTs, tokens, manage your wallet, basically export the private keys here. And yeah, you can disconnect. This is basic authentication where you don't ask your user to log in with Google, but you also create an agent account for them. And this is an agent account. Basically, you can treat it as an agent account because this is not your account. Like it's not your MetaMask account. But you can fund it using your MetaMask account, right? You can just copy the link and fund it using tokens. So I've added one seller token. And now we can just say, what is my address? And since your wallet is connected, it has access, should have access. Wait. Okay, there's an issue with database. My bad, my bad. We forgot one step. Is it in the README? Let me see. We forgot to run migrations. And yeah, there it is. We need to run migrations. So this project basically comes with pre-generated migrations. All you need to do is just run it, right? There are, and how to see it is you can go into package JSON and you can see there are a lot of DB related stuff. There's one generate command and there's one migrate command. So generate command will generate new migrations if you make any changes in your schema, and migrate will basically push it on chain. And where you find it is libdb, you can see. So you can go to libdb and you can see this command migrate. And this code basically will, basically will push all the changes on chain. Sorry, on Postgres.
And that works with any kind of like you would have to update that if you would choose something else than Postgres. Like
Yeah, so basically here we have schema, and this is the table schema. Let's say you had to update it at here. Once you add anything, you just save the file and you go to package JSON and you can see there is a generate command. You run this and we create a new migration. Migration will be created in this directory. So you see we have one basic migration. This creates all our database. So this is auto-generated migration, right? So whenever you change anything in the schema file, run that command and you create a new file here. Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so we now just have to do is run this command, npm run migrate. PostgreSQL URL is not supported, but we have it. Let's try this. Export. Yeah, I did this. So yeah, this is, I guess, a bug, not exactly a bug, but it's not picking up the URL. So what you can do is just in your terminal run export the private key so it can find this URL. There isn't fix. Definitely, I'll do it after this. But yeah, this is a temporary fix if you're getting this. Is export it temporarily in your terminal and then run the db command again. Okay, done. So in 6 seconds, it did something. And if you go into Neon console and tables, yep, it created all the tables that we require. And if you want to verify, you can go into schema file and you can see all the table names that we have here are inside our Neon. Okay, so this is one missing piece that I forgot to do, but up to that, I think we can do PNP and param, it should work. Let's quickly disconnect and refresh. Okay, so we have something which is data is connected now. Let's log in. Cool. There we go. We don't have any chat, as we already know. It's connected. And if you want to confirm while doing it, you can go into the user table and just click on refresh. And it created 2 accounts. You can see this is the main account with my wallet address. And this is a public account. So people can actually use it without logging in, right? So it won't be able to use Web3 features because they don't have a wallet, but they can still do hi, hello, stuff like that. Right? So it has a public account as well and an authenticated or a wallet account, basically. So yeah, once we have that, we can see what is my address. And I'm using a big model, that's why it's taking time. But yeah, there we go. My address is this and it matches with this address. Let's see what else we can do.
Sorry.
Sorry?
Can you zoom it in a bit more?
Yep.
Yeah, nice.
So what is my Cello and CUSD balance? Okay, this command I haven't tried. This is happening in production, I guess. Invalid token address. Let's try just Cello. Hmm. Cello balance on the okay. Let's see the tools that we have access to. If you can. So how would you add more tools, right? Like this is basically a tool called inside the application. You can go into lib and then AI, and you can see a list of all the tools that are available. What we're doing is cat balance, and I think something is breaking, maybe RPC endpoint, because this was working definitely. Let's try something else. Get block number. Hmm.
In the meantime, and there's like a question that I
Oh,
can answer. Oh,
yeah, it
then,
worked. Sorry,
okay.
what's the question?
No, there's like a question that we can answer.
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Just like a general question. It's a question: what is the difference between Cello MCP and Composer Kit MCP?
Oh, okay. So Cello MCP is more for non-developers, which is person who wants to interact with Cello protocol, and that includes staking, and that includes locking your Cello, or maybe everything related to governance. If you want to know what's happening on governance, which is the best proposal that's happening right now, should you vote on it, and stuff like that. So this is more for non-developers, whereas Cello Composer Kit MCP is strictly for developers, which you can use to add more Cello features, Cello Composer features in your project.
And you can also always contribute or send new future requests for it.
Yep.
This is the link.
Okay. If we see the tools available, we can see we have get balance, get block number that we just ran. We have get token balance, and it's basically using VM and then making a call and checking your ERC20 token balance. We have lookup ENS names, we have resolve ENS names, and resolve token addresses. And it's preloaded with all the famous tokens on Cello, all the stable coins and Web3. And yeah, these are all verified addresses. If you want your agent to have support for more tokens, you can just add it here, and yeah, agent will be able to figure out the address time. So you don't need to always paste the token address. You can just say, what's my CUSD balance, and it knows the address of it. Then we have create document and update document. These are more of something that I'll show you. So there are two big features I would like to show. One is writing code. So you can literally use a big model. Let's say you can use GPT-5 in this, and you can write Solidity code in this. And you can fine tune our system prompt. Why would you do it is there's this file called prompt, and this is where you have all the prompts listed. I mean, you don't need to understand any of it, to be honest. Like if you're white coding, just open Windsurf and start typing, and they'll figure, like basically AI will figure it out where the prompts are and update everything. But just informing that it is possible to write code. I can say, give me hello world prompt. Sorry, hello world Solidity code. Okay, let's try this. So as I mentioned, this is more for UI. So just see the animations and the canvas that we create. This is similar to what ChatGPT does, where all the code comes in a code block or canvas. So it will show something like that. Hopefully, if everything is working. Okay, there we go. So it created a really good chat block interface. You can do something like gives me advanced Solidity code, please, for NFT marketplace. So again, like don't use this as it is, because the next thing I'll do is add a feature where you can literally deploy the smart contract by just having a conversation. And this is something where we are trying to do we're trying to do a series of vibe coding sessions. So the first session, this is the first session where we have created an interface. But every next consecutive builder stage workshops, what we'll be doing is adding more and more features on top of it. And the next feature could be, just deploying the smart contract that you just wrote, or it could be that swap my tokens, or basically a trading agent or a DeFi agent. And in the same project, we'll keep on adding more and more. These, I guess, just logs. Shit, my API key is hitting the limits. That's the issue. Let's try. Give me top 5 seller tokens in CSV file with name, symbol, address. Okay. So yeah, while this is happening, Lena, any more questions you have?
Yeah. So to understand this for everyone, so this interface that you created here, it's basically where you like
I'm
you
sorry,
can. My question is,
yeah.
do I use this now? Is it something that I build for production, or is it something more for my personal use that I improve? And or is it like, do I have all of the different options as to build something that is similar to Third Web Nebula, where you have like this session, you deploy all of your Web3, like you can deploy a contract and so on, right? And it's and I know you're using Third Web, so you can basically build that with it, but you can also, and that is happening in the same project, you could either add your own agent that you created as, how would you plug that in? Like if I have like a DeFi agent, or do I build that inside of that project?
I would say this is more of a production grade template where this is not definitely for personal use because it has authentication. It allows you to create agent wallets and stuff like that. So there's definitely more than a personal project. And it depends on which kind of trajectory you want to go, right? Like if you want to, let's say, create an agent that is more around trading, then you can just simply integrate Uniswap features. And if it, let's say, you want something that interacts with strategies and investments, then you can integrate Aave. And if you want something that writes smart contracts, deploy tokens, then it's also a possibility, right? So it's like a bare minimum interface that allows your customers to deploy something.
And to update it, I would go into this tool section that you just showed, and like add my tools that I want to use. Like Ankit just asked, how about sending, swapping, and bridging tokens? So you would go into that project that you just created, and then into the tool section and add like a swapping functionality tool there.
Correct. And for that, I would suggest if you're on EVM chain, especially Celo, bridging, Third Web Universal Bridge is really good and their APIs are quite good. Like it basically gives you exact things that you need to deploy a transaction. So normally how would a bridging SDK would work is you need to provide VM object, and that basically complicates the stuff because with agent wallets, it's more of not a wallet that you have a MetaMask, but these wallets are hosted on secure third web servers, right? Because these are smart wallets or MPC wallets. In this case, you need transaction object. And third web universal APIs exactly give you an object that you can just push and it signs and executes. So with agent chat interfaces or agent, you don't need to use SDK. What you need is a transaction data or transaction object that you can sign and then push on chain.
Can you show
Does
that?
that make sense?
Can you maybe just show the doc for that? I think it's easier for somebody to follow than if they look it up themselves.
Yes. I was just creating a new API key for ChatGPT so that I can continue the.
Yeah, we can add that at the end, that you would just like go through how to add a new tool or something, and then you show the links that we just discussed.
Yes. Give me a minute.
Yeah, we are also for the, as Vera said, this is like kind of like the first official session of like creating the base of the agent. And we're going to have weekly session building up on that and building like a DeFi agent out. But we're also very open for suggestions. So if you want to see us doing something, we'll all do something in one of those workshops, just let us know, either here or in like in the YouTube comments, Twitter comments, or also in for like under our Twitter account, send us a DM, or in the Composer Kit MCP. Wherever you feel like letting us know what you would like to see, just reach out. You can also reach out to Viral with any questions on Twitter. He is now posting a lot, so you get also a lot of entertainment when you follow him.
There's a
So
little bit shit posting.
yeah, but
It's
it's good. It's good. I feel like shit posting is, everybody thinks it's so easy. I think it's not easy, and it's good
yeah.
to be consistent. And like you started off strong, so like I think it's amazing. People should know about that and follow you. How?
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out the documentation page for Universal Bridge. Give me a minute.
Okay. And while you are doing that, I can already talk about something that I was planning to talk at the end, but I can just talk about it now. So there is like, in case you've missed it, there's been a huge announcement. We gonna have a new testnet, or we already launched a new testnet called Cello Sepoya. It launched. It was announced on the 13th of August. So now we ask all the builders to start building on Sepolia. Let us know if any of like your libraries or your the protocols you're implementing, any of your dependencies have not yet moved, so we can help you reach out to them so they move to Sepolia. Alpha Joes will be sunset on the 30th of September. So until then, all of you would have to move. If you're right now taking part in proof of ship or something, just I would suggest for this month, you can already start using Sepolia in case you don't have too many dependencies. Otherwise, if you have too many, you might have to like switch to mainnet for a second. But as you know, gas fees are very, very cheap on Celo. You can find all the information to the new testnet here. Let me just share the link. We are very, very excited. We are moving even closer to Ethereum now, with also having Sepolia testnet, like all the other chains on top of Ethereum. So very exciting. Make sure you read that. Make sure you add that to your MetaMask. Make sure you add that to your project. And yeah, start using Sepolia as your testnet. Girl, how are you doing?
Almost there. Just added the ChatGPT API. Give me a minute. Is there any other question? I saw in Ankit's question that is on generative UI. So
Yeah.
generative UI is something, I'll just give an overview on what is generative UI. So generative UI basically means when, let's say, you write a question saying, what is my balance? Instead of just in plain English saying, this is your balance, it basically creates a UI for you in the runtime. Like it returns HTML and CSS code. And that's when you see the UI, it looks like a ready-made component, but it's not ready-made, like it's generated by LLMs. That makes sense. Yeah. I think I might have an issue. Lena, do you have any API keys that I can use for the demo?
Let me send you one. Right. Okay, I'm sending you one. I feel like I haven't understood the thing with the generative UI for the same. Is the question if that is already in the project that you build, or if you can add that?
It's not, but we can add that. It's basically just imagine Lovable inside your agent, which creates or generates UI according to users' prompts. So, for example, you say, I want to swap USDC to USDT. It will create or generate a UI like Uniswap, which basically you can interact and click on a swap button and you'll swap it.
Okay, but what Composer Kit components could they do it?
No, so these are actually pure HTML, CSS code. You can do both. I mean, you can also use any of the packages. But since it allows, like LLM, you can provide custom system prompts saying, this is the design system I want to use, and use the same theme.
Okay.
Okay, I think I have it ready. I'm just doing a quick test. Okay, ready to share my screen. Okay, there's a question. How about sending, swapping, and bringing to companies? Okay, same question. Sorry.
It's still the same question. Yeah. Okay.
Ready when you are?
I am ready.
Okay, so let's go to our localhost again. I just restarted the server. Oops.
Now everybody
Always. Always.
This is also something everybody who is new and who has never watched any of our live stream. We hide some Easter eggs, so every time that you might find an API key that you can use for a few hours until we change it. And
you might need to change it now.
But yeah. Ooh, there's a good question that you can answer. Tools consume too much token during vibe coding. I checked Zero MCP as a solution, but it's relatively new and couldn't make it work. Any advice to keep token consumption low during dev? I think that's exactly what I was complaining about, or what I was saying my issue is. Like, I just think I'm wasting tokens by just like arguing with the
So I would think, so there are a couple of ways you can achieve this. So one is having more context of your project. Like if you're a developer, then just have more context on what AI is writing instead of just vibe coding. If you read all the codes that it's writing, you know exactly which file to be edited. And you can give a really good prompt saying, yeah, just edit this particular file, and add this, remove this, change this. In this way, it does not need to, or LLM does not need to read everything in your project every time. And so basically, when tokens are consumed is when it tries to get more context of your project. But if you give a really instructions, like really specific instructions, do this, it'll consume less tokens. And second way is just change cursor. I'm guessing you're using cursor, and that's the problem. I've shifted to Windsurf, which is still working on credits, which gives you 500 credits really cheap, and you can do 500 calls. And yeah, I feel like 500 calls are more than enough for 20 to 25 days. And if you use it conservatively, you can just use it for 1 month. And in that case, you don't need to worry about amount of tokens it's consuming because it's request based.
I think it's just like, don't waste your time with like when it doesn't get something right, think about what information you can provide instead of say like keep copying error messages in that won't change anything. Like as soon as you realize the agent that you're talking to doesn't get it, switch the prompt up and do not try to like add tiny pieces of information.
Yep.
Which I always do. That's why I can tell you not to do it.
Okay,
so,
Alina, we are ready. We are ready now. Okay. So I just tried it with the new keys, and I just gave a command saying give me an NFT smart contract in Solidity, and it actually used this really good canvas feature, which you can also use. And yeah, like now you can keep on asking more questions. It'll update the file, and you can see it in full screen. You can actually write code, and there's a quick button. You can add comments. So this will basically add a new prompt saying add comments, code snippets, and update the same file with comments. There you go. And the idea is that there's a run code, but this won't work. This only works in Python right now. But the next workshop, maybe we can add support for deploying this. Instead of run, we can say deploy, and it will compile the code in the runtime on your server, and then basically use your agent to deploy it. So this is something that we can do next. And related to Universal Bridge, this is a really good article that I found that explains all the features. You can swap, you can bridge everything. You don't need to integrate Uniswap. All you need to do is just integrate Universal Bridge, and it can do everything that you need. For example, this is the one of the APIs which returns available routes on your provided filter. So, for example, if you say my origin token is USDT on Celo and your destination is USDT on base, just provide these information and it will return you a transaction object that you need to push. So in similar way, there are a lot of different things that ThirdWeb provide, which is AI ready, I would say. For example, if you want to mint an NFT, they have a whole suite for that. If you want to buy crypto, check out. Insight is one of my favorite one, which basically allows you to interact with the blockchain, and Insight is available on Celo. So this is just an API call, right? Like if you want to support a prompt saying, give me last 5 transactions on Celo, there are a couple of ways you can do it. First is integrating RPC calls. And everyone knows like RPC calls are expensive, slow. But what you can do is just make this API call, right? You can choose Celo here. And yeah, just provide all the filters that you need. And filters are never ending filters. You can filter everything. And you don't need to filter, to be honest. Like your LLM will filter it out, create a whole API request and run it, and the response will be returned. So just integrating insights on your application is a game changing. Like you can get balances, you can get prices, token lookup, NFTs, wallet. So maybe next session, what we can do is just add the whole insight support in this project. And by the next session, I'll also make sure that I've deployed this particular project that we have. I'll push it on, I guess, GitHub and then deploy on Versal. So we can just, all the next session, we can just make changes and push it so everyone can try it out, everyone can check what the code is. And yeah, I think, Lena, what do you say? How about adding insight feature in the next call?
Yeah, that sounds like really good. Let's do it.
Okay,
I think
awesome.
we have a few things, but because it's already set up, we can add like 2 features, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice, cool. Let's do it.
Yeah. Any more questions? That's all I think I had. Is a production grade template, I would say.
Yeah. Okay, very cool. So if you joined late, what you learn when you watch this video is to build a production-ready agent interface and with already like some Web3 functionalities live. So join us next week. Girl, do you have any other advice, pointers for people?
So just keep posting what you need to see, because my plan is to have this particular same project and add more and more features on it. And on that journey, we'll see a lot of problems. One problem that I'll tell you right now is today we only have 5 tools, but let's say the moment we add Insight, we'll have, let's say, 5 more. We add Uniswap, Aave. Each time we add a new tool, it's increasing the amount of tools we have, and there is a limit. And what will happen when you hit that limit? There are multiple options, like we can do multi-agent, or you can do different hierarchy of models. Like you can use one model to choose which is the best tool. Or there's one more way where you use vector embedding, where you don't actually use LLM to choose which tool to call, but you actually use a vector store. And how would you set up a vector store? So there are a lot of ways we'll see how this project evolves. But for that, we need to keep on adding more tools. And for that, like, love if you can suggest what to add.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's like, I think we always like see so many projects being started, but like I think it will be so interesting and very valuable for everybody watching to see how to build out a more complex project. I had the same. I was like, oh, it's so easy to build an agent, and then I built something with
Especially when
Privy,
you're fetching
and
price
then
or balance.
and then
Easy
and
when
then
you're just fetching the balance. But
it's
when the moment you start, yeah,
the moment
complicated,
we start adding something else, because we had Privy and then we had Chainlink, I think, and as soon as we brought those together, nothing worked anymore. Everything broke, and it was
yeah,
obviously directly we merged that before we submitted for the hackathon, and then nothing worked. So I think this is
yeah.
super valuable even for hackathon projects, but especially if you're planning to build a proper AI agent.
Yeah, I mean, this is already a hackathon project. If you see, it has VM support, it has all the blockchain access, it creates a smart account, and it supports literally like 6 to 7 big LLMs, and it supports creating code, it supports creating Excel sheet for now, but we can extend more stuff. So I added Excel sheet support because let's say you are doing some research on top 5 performing tokens on Celo, which is also what I want to do. But the moment you have that information, you can just say, create this a CSV file, it will create a CSV file for you. And yeah, I have it on the list to add DApp Looker or DeFi Llama kind of a feature where you can actually make calls to these services and do research work on it. With research work and reasoning and thinking features, it will create a really good uh, yeah, tool to just check out what's happening on each chain, on each protocol and stuff.
That, yeah, I think that will be amazing. Looking forward to next session. Well,
Awesome.
thank you so much for joining today. Thank you everybody for watching. Have a lovely week, and see you in all of the upcoming. Actually, before we leave, I actually have to share my screen, because if you like this workshop and if you want to build with it, you can apply it to Proof of Ship 7 and show what you're building and get rewarded for that. So you don't just like build in your little room, but you can build also in public and with the community. So make sure to join Proof of Ship 7 and get rewarded for building. Build out your builder profile, and that's it. Follow us on Twitter. Join our Telegram Builder channel to ask questions and to tell Viral what you want to have added to the workshop. And now that was it. And follow me on Twitter, because I'm hosting those workshops and I will be posting about it. Anyways, have a lovely week. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.